Hi, everybody. So Amelia's here with me today, and she's a brilliant healer. And we've done shows before together, and I recommend her on my website. But we're going to talk about quantum healing, the rainbow of frequency. There's a few other things that I'm forgetting, maybe the thymus gland, and also making sure that you resonate with the person that you pick to help you with healing.
Mhm.
Because if you don't, then it won't work very well, probably. Also, do you want to heal? Are you ready? Because I've
Yeah.
tried to, there's been two people that I can think of that I helped in the past, and they didn't want to heal. They were hanging on to their trauma and they were getting attention for it. So they didn't heal. So it really
Yeah.
just, yeah. So tell me
Yeah.
about quantum healing, Amelia. I want to hear your take on it.
Yes. Well, more recently, I was kind of discovering more and more about it. It's been being downloaded for me just for the last several years. And just through my experiences, through other people, just through my own highest self, and so on and so forth. So, and I like to not mess with, just play with my energy, just
Mhm.
funneling it in fun, safe, unique ways. And so, um, I love this story because it's just fun. My kids play basketball, so whenever I was at a game, I was sending their team all sorts of good energy. So I asked my friend, I said, "So what do you see when I'm doing this?" And she said, "Rainbows coming out of your hands."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Well, that's perfect." I didn't really envision it. I just knew what I was sending out there. But because it really, like you said earlier, the rainbow frequency is all of it combined and all of the energies. And so maybe now is a good time to share the image too that I always saw. About 5 years ago, I got the Prizm download and what that really means for us.
Mhm.
And let's see, there's oh, there it is. I always forget where the share screen is. Um, and so
There
we
we
just see
go.
this beautiful light, and of course, everyone thinks Pink Floyd, right? Is that the band that has this
Yeah,
album
yeah,
cover? I mean, they were onto something, right? So we've got the bright, pure, divine white light coming through, and then it expands into all parts of us, all frequencies, all energies, the entire spectrum of who we are. And I mean, that's a very oversimplified version of what this really means.
Mhm.
But I mean, just notice how it just expands into that beautiful prism. And then I've got a prism hanging on one of my windows too, and there's just little rainbows just all over the house when it hits a certain angle. And so just imagine what that can do to just replace all the other stuck energies in your body to
Yeah,
really cleanse and clear in a pure way. And then sometimes that's when you can finally address some of those physical things that you've been working on but haven't really been working, it's like people have been like, just, oh, this is my issue, I'm always dealing with this. Well, you don't actually have to. Once I released my last hopefully stuck part of my thymus, there's a thymus point right on the chest here it's like a reflex point that I was always checking in on for myself, and it's no longer sensitive or sore, and it's just been mildly sensitive for years. So clearing the behind the scenes work, and then allowing the physical to catch up to that, it's just really beautiful.
yeah,
There's so much that nutrition can do, and this just extends so much beyond that, so that everything just works together in a harmonious, beautiful way. And it can bring in all of your energies through whatever needs to be addressed. Is it the meridians or chakras or even the elements, or um, whatever frequencies are just out of line. Oh, a lot of divine feminine and
Mhm.
masculine balancing, which I pulled a card for that too. So there's just that
Oh yeah.
beautiful energy um for that. And you've got the infinity. One of the names I wanted to call the healing work I do is infinity healing, but I think someone already took that. So um
Yeah.
so then I was downloaded Prizm healing as the work that I do. So yeah, I'm curious what you've been hearing about the divine feminine activations we've all been going through too recently.
Yeah. So the divine feminine has been going through releasing the trauma. So there's been a massive amount of trauma that's happened to the divine feminine, but also in other ways it's happened to the divine masculine. And we're talking about soul level here. So basically, that box was opened and the healing was able to happen. And I don't think it's ever happened before. So, in this polarized universe, because of ascension, it was able to actually get healed. And Anya said she felt something yesterday. And you said you were feeling something within you, like an energy. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's an activation going on. And if you have a female soul, then you might be experiencing a different energy right now, like a bubbling up energy. And I think we need to talk about like the spectrum of energy because so I got this out. We have the light spectrum is part of frequency. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be part of healing because we're going to have light and we're going to have sound. And those
Mm-hmm.
things are going to bring in so much more healing. So, whatever you can surround yourself with, whether it's beautiful sound that actually makes your body feel good, or it's beautiful light, whether you're putting prisms in the windows, you're standing in front of the sun, whatever you're doing, those are going to help you. But and it's something like the rainbow is something I've been drawing since I was little. So I'll share that picture. So I'm going
Me
to
too.
create a clothing line. And this is going to be on one of them. Um, but it's just fun. Just have fun and do the things that make your soul kind of like expand and sing and be happy within you. Because that's so important. And I think quantum healing has made leaps and bounds over the last several years. Because
Oh yeah.
I want to say I was like 35. So almost 20 years ago, I had a quantum healing. And I was having this lady help me with my thyroid. And I was laying down and my throat was like aching. And she did a quantum healing, which in those days you were not supposed to do it by yourself. You were supposed to have a group of healers helping, channeling this energy at this person. So her throat hurt for like a month, and mine probably hurt for 3 weeks. And after that, I couldn't take the thyroid medicine anymore. So she fixed the thyroid, but she also took on too much. But
Mm.
nowadays, we are all becoming more and more powerful because our vibration is rising. And you can heal somebody with energy very easily now if they accept it.
Yes. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very fast. And sometimes I'm trying to tune in and I'm like, oh, there it went. I didn't even have a chance
Yeah.
to even label what it was. Not that we need the labels, but it's moving through so fast and faster than a lot of the like the technology that people use for quantum healing too.
Mhm.
Some of those are lower vibration, but some are really good, but still I think that's still not as efficient or effective as somebody facilitating who is a very high vibration
Yeah.
person. facilitating that healing, I can move through so many more layers than having to wait for the machine to catch up to where I'm sensing, feeling, picking up all those things. So you are the technology that is
Yeah,
needed, truly.
you really are. And there are machines that people are using right now, and they're kind of like a bridge in between.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to go do that and it's available and you don't know an energy healer that you really like resonate with, then I would do that. But even
Mm-hmm.
if you pay 4 times as much for an hour with an energy healer as you would to sit in front of those computers that people are using right now, um, you're going to get more out of it, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
just kind of, think about that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, my friend uses a Genius biofeedback, and that one's pretty high vibration. And so, she and I did some trading. I was like, this is interesting. It's fun. It's clearing layers of the subconscious. So I was grateful.
Mhm.
Um, and so it can be
Yeah.
definitely helpful to get your energy up to a higher frequency to accept even more layers of healing. So,
Yeah, I'm excited for them to come out with, I mean, I know we have full spectrum lighting. You can get a hold of that before they make it illegal, which I don't think it will
right.
become illegal.
Right.
But I would definitely like get some light bulbs that are full spectrum just to
Mhm.
have those going on in your home and spend some time with the sun. Even if you have to close your eyes to look at the sun, like you're facing it and your eyes are closed, let that energy come in.
Mhm.
That's going to really help. Um,
I see
the,
colors when I do that.
Me
Mhm.
too. Yeah. And the thymus is really important for the heart. So I feel like the thymus is almost like a gateway gland to the heart.
Yeah.
And Tarzan knew what he was doing, you know?
Yep.
Like he's thumping his chest all the time. That's your immune system is so enhanced by a strong thymus gland.
Definitely. And it can get stuck, and it, helps with the lymphatic system, and it does speak to the heart back and forth, and
Mhm.
almost like an echo is what I'm hearing right now of
Yeah.
the heart. And and it can help just energize you too for the rest of the day if you're feeling a little sluggish, or maybe you ate some foods you weren't used to, or maybe you just had an emotional experience. Just use that, thump the thymus. And um yeah, the way I learned was to just, take the fist and hit, and take a deep breath in while you're hitting, and then exhale as
Yeah.
well, just for a good 30 seconds or so. So it's really quick.
It is quick. Be nice to your ribs, but um
Yes.
don't overdo it, but definitely stimulate it. There's a
Hmm.
lot of stuff that like I don't know if you've ever practiced like qigong and stuff like that, but there's a lot of stuff that you can do to energize the body. Yesterday I was in a meeting and the other person that I'm like co-hosting this meeting with, it's like we're all going to dance, so they start dancing and the whole group is dancing, everybody's up, and it was really a lot of fun. So it's just move your body around a little bit and you won't feel so stagnated.
Hmm.
But we
Yeah.
are having a lot of stuff go through us lately.
Yes. Yeah. Yesterday, my friend and I were both like, we just don't want to do anything. What is this? Like, um, and it's very, very powerful. So that same friend, we're gonna do a sound bath slash healing. So she's
Nice.
gonna do the sound part, and I'll do the healing. For it's kind of like an individualized thing for each person, what they need in that moment. And so the combination of that is just so powerful
Hmm.
to bring it all
Yeah,
together for those who are ready to receive that.
really, it's so true.
So,
And if you know how to use the singing bowls, because I've definitely used them the wrong way, if you know how to use them, I would utilize that because they're powerful. Like I was doing it,
mhm.
I was like, oh, I just got a singing bowl. I'm just gonna keep playing. And I was so exhausted when I was done, like whatever I did, I went way too long.
Yes.
So it probably took me an hour to recover. I was just laying there for
Mhm.
a while because I was so exhausted from my singing bowl practice, which
Yeah.
learn about stuff before you go whole hog.
Especially if you're very, very sensitive to new things.
Right. Yeah,
I've
that was
left
pretty
many
funny.
sound baths feeling kind of like half out of it because it was just so intense in a good way.
Mhm.
So
I think it
like, is
releases
this
a
safe for
lot of
me?
stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was
Yep.
always wondering, can I make it the 15-minute drive home?
Right.
Like, it was just so much in a good way, like I said, but I had to take a pause afterwards and just,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
integrate for a few
amazing.
minutes.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's truly amazing.
Yeah. I feel like it opens up. So like the body with all the cells and all the liquid and everything, I feel like it vibrates that stuff in there and it
Mm-hmm.
vibrates the energy. So then your body becomes almost like liquefied or something, like things are getting
Yes.
shook loose. And
Yes.
it took me probably a day after that to kind of feel normal again. But it took me an
Mm-hmm.
hour of just laying there to come back to functional.
Yes. And that reminds me too of just like our electric bodies, but all our liquid bodies, but also the plasma in our
Hmm.
bodies too. It's like all of it's kind of like readjusting itself and activating and reconnecting right now. There
Yeah.
was lots of parts of us that were so disconnected, not just the divine feminine, but just even within us. Like the gut brain is one of the simplest examples of that. It's like the pituitary speaks directly to the adrenals and hypothalamus. They're kind of that triangle, and that has been severed for so many people. Just activating that alone can be so powerful in the healing. So,
Yeah. And a lot of us, our adrenals have been really exhausted through this process of ascension. So you really want
yes.
to take care of them and give your body
Mhm.
enough minerals. I'm kind of starting to think about like, is there a good just mineral supplement that gives you all the minerals? Because the only one that I've found that looks like it's really good is quite expensive.
Mm.
So, and
And
I love,
there's a few.
yeah, there's some. Um,
Mhm.
so I think that's a good thing to look around for. I love
Yeah.
burdock root. I think that's
Mhm.
probably one of the best natural ones. Even sea moss, I don't feel like it necessarily has that much in it.
Right. I've been seeing that, but not drawn to it. I've been using a lot of this higher vibrational fulvic acid mixed with
Yeah.
some other minerals too. And so um that one's been really helpful. And for my clients too, they're seeing a difference. Sometimes I'll feel like some mineral. I sometimes feel tingly if I take enough minerals too, like it's activating that electrical
Yeah.
spark in my body if I've been depleted.
Hmm.
Um, or maybe super busy for a few days. And so that one's helpful. Um,
Yeah,
and
I have a
yeah, it
great
really
one of
depends on
those that I
you.
should go back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't testing for it for many years. And then I finally, it just hit me. And recently black seed oil has come in, but that's a different thing besides minerals. So,
Yeah. Well, and
but,
experiment with stuff too.
mm-hmm,
Try it out. Hold it in your hand. What does it feel like? I
mm-hmm.
hate the taste of black seed oil, but
I put it in a
I,
capsule.
oh, it's so bad. But, I was going to make myself take it. And then recently I thought, well, what does black seed come from? It's the black sesame seed, right? So, and I'm not sure if this is right or not, but I went ahead and I bought black sesame seed tahini. And
Ooh.
I heard that honey helps the black seed oil come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to make halva with honey and I'm going to
Yum.
have candy.
And it's a
So,
and the tahini is a good sulfur food, so it helps you
yeah,
detox and your liver's happier and all of those things too.
yeah.
So
Just do fun
that's
stuff. Look
great.
for alternatives that you can create.
Right.
Another thing
There's an
that's
easy
been
way to.
popping up all the time is ginger beer, and you can make it yourself with the
Mm-hmm.
ginger bug.
Yep. That's so good.
Hmm.
So good. And there's an easy way to kind of test too what's good for you. And I do this in my muscle testing course on your website too, which I will be doing an extra video on soon
Oh,
with the divining rods.
oh,
So
fun.
I have some copper ones that I've been messing with, but I have to sit very far back from technology. It interacts with the
Oh,
computer, which just the ones I have at least. But you can even just, for me, sometimes if I'm just deciding what to take, I'll hold one in each hand and see which one my body is leaning towards and then go with that one. If I
yeah,
just need a simple yes no answer just for fun things. Because sometimes your body might be in resistance to something. So I don't want to overload it with something, just being a highly sensitive empath.
yeah. Well, and our body is programmed by us. So our body's going to be more sensitive if our soul has programmed it to be so sensitive.
Hmm.
I think of our body as like it's holding its own consciousness, the human consciousness, but
Yeah.
also it's the vehicle for the soul to be here and to raise the vibration of the human consciousness. So the soul has a lot of activity that's going on in the body. So it's really interesting.
Yes, it's interesting. And especially when I can see that when I'm working with people too, I'm like, well, that's an interesting way to, it's working itself out. And
Mhm.
it's just beautiful.
It is. It's really beautiful. And all the stuff that we're doing, like for each other at this point, is getting really fun, beautiful, and powerful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Yes. Yeah, and it's becoming more evident too with just the different splits that are happening within the world too.
Yeah.
It's harder and harder to be in a certain space that you used to be able to tolerate than others.
Yeah. I can't handle it at this point. Like if something is
Mhm.
really like in a low vibration, I'm just like, okay, I'm out, gone.
Right, right.
Yeah. But it doesn't happen very often. Like I
Mm-mm.
don't even notice it very often at all. Except if I'm looking at a video, usually, and then I'll be like, ooh, yuck, and scroll through it. But
Yep.
getting better and better right now.
Right. Yeah. And there's just another card I pulled too, just a lot of that beautiful, happy energy coming through
Hmm.
and more of that prism energy coming from the top of that too, that pure light and just having fun, really grounded, really um elevating too with those stairs. We're just, I mean, climbing and climbing and climbing right now. So
We are.
fast.
We are. And the stairs in the astral plane look like a spiral,
Mm-hmm.
and they go up and up and up. And that's how we're going up through the parallels. I watched a little clip from Bashar today,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody was like, well, what about all these people that are trying to control everything? And he was all upset. And Bashar's like, be quiet, and he's like, what do you choose? And I
Yes.
think that the way he said it and the way he insisted that the guy figure out how to choose his own reality was really powerful, because we're at that point where we have to choose our own reality. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to definitely share that one, because I was like, wow, that's intense and good, because we need it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but we're doing really good. Humanity's doing amazing right now.
It feels that way.
Yeah.
And that just reminded me, just even little things, like I'll think about something one day and then like within an hour or two, it's manifested in a way as a confirmation. Just, I'm always thinking about that quote, Shakespeare's quote, "The world is but a stage."
Mhm.
I'm probably misquoting that, And then, I'm watching Fringe, the TV show, watching for more disclosure, um, and he quotes it on the TV show
Yeah.
within 2 hours, and it's that kind of stuff is being created. I'm like, I did that. Like, I made that connection. I created this
Yeah, and
whole
I think some
situation
of
for
them have
myself.
changed too, the TV shows. So, and some of them
Yes.
didn't exist when they say that they came out.
Interesting.
Yeah. So really everything is just for now, you know. And that's how I go about getting all my material for like Telegram. I'm like, okay, I need some good stuff for Telegram, and it just appears for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we really can bring in
Well,
whatever we
yeah.
want to. Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm making dinner, I've been downloading all this stuff behind the scenes, and I'm just, all these different people are coming up on TikTok or whatever. I'm just letting it roll. And I'm like, oh, more confirmation, confirmation. This is exactly it's the same exact story.
Mhm.
It's maybe not the best word, but um, yeah, it's beautiful. It's happening so fast.
It is. And I feel like we're finally in the loop that lands. So we've been in these loops the last few years, and I didn't
Hmm.
recognize this until just recently. I was like,
That
oh
makes
my
sense.
God, we've been in a loop. So we got closer and closer and closer. So basically, we've been in a spiral, and the universe is ready. The universe is like, okay, okay,
Enough.
kids, we're doing it,
Yeah.
And we keep trying to hold it back with whatever programming, or I feel like humanity's afraid of change because
Yes.
we've been so sucked in to stuff, but also we've trauma bonded with like different scenarios and stories. So
Yes.
when we let go of those bonds, when we break those chains, then I
Hmm.
feel like humanity's been free for a while. We just haven't recognized that we're free. So
That
we've
makes so
been
much
wallowing
sense.
around in the past, but I don't think the universe is going to put up with that much longer.
Mhm. Well, that's very similar to my experience of just leaving an abusive relationship, right? So
Mhm.
it takes you a while to realize that wasn't real. That wasn't true. Nothing about that trauma bond was good or for your highest anything. And
Right.
so then you have to start to reprogram. So, um,
Mhm.
for the good kind of program. So it's a whole process. Some people move through it quickly. Some people never find their way out of that loop.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. And I
so,
think it's the experience the soul has asked for, but
mhm,
not all souls think they're going to get through the lesson in one lifetime. And then there have been the souls that got stuck. And then there's the people who are a non-player character
right.
who maybe they have some awareness, but there's such a wide range of the non-player character too that
I
they're
see
kind
that.
of hard to define.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they run on those programs that just we think are normal. Typically, I
Yeah.
sometimes you have to tune in a little bit more to them, especially when they're younger, like children. So,
Yeah. Well, and then you're watching somebody and you're like, what are you doing? Like you're
yeah.
just confused about why somebody's doing the same thing over and over again. And that always used to
Hmm.
bug me just in general to watch. Like I
Hmm.
would have a friend that would just do the same thing. Each relationship would be the same person basically that they were with. And I was like,
Yes.
well, why are you doing that? And they're like, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with doing that.
Hmm.
So I think that, is the definition of an NPC that is just, they may have a sliver of a soul, but they're not really present. They're not really aware of
Hmm.
themselves.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And those aren't the people who are going to typically reach out for any kind of quantum healing um,
Mm-mm.
at all. So,
No. So many people are elevating right now, and
mhm.
they're going to be the ones that are looking for assistance. And there's no shame in looking for assistance for what you're doing.
Yeah.
I see it
Yeah.
as a tool. Yeah. So you don't want to hand over your power to somebody else,
No.
but you know, if you want to interact with somebody and get healed, then do it.
Hmm.
A lot of our
The,
healing is coming from within, but not all of it.
right. Right. There's that just kind of organic, natural activation that we're going through. And then
Mhm.
um, when you agree with what other people see that needs to clear, it just really just moves up and out so quickly. So really, I'm the facilitator for what your soul is already trying to communicate,
Right.
and it just allows it to flow where it needs to go, or integrate, let go, whatever it is that it needs to do, transmute, you name it. The soul knows what to do, and it just sometimes needs a little nudge along the way.
Yeah, or the body consciousness needs a nudge. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I find really interesting is we have like these group things that we're always doing. And
Mm-hmm.
I notice the bigger the group, the more the power to actually create whatever it is that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about to do a big activation, which has been, my soul has been pushing at me, you know, you have to do this. And I'm so excited because a lot of people actually signed up to do it. So it's going to be really powerful.
Nice.
Yeah. So just think about those things like when you want to go to do something, what's the intention behind it? And is there going to be a lot of people? Because if there's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people and the intention's really awesome, that's a bigger draw to go. If the intention's kind of me, then that would be
Mm-hmm.
a reason maybe not to go because you're going to actually feel more of an impact.
Yeah. That
Mhm.
makes sense. And I recently made just one of my healings public on my Patreon community because it was addressing a lot of the family issues I think a lot of people are
Mhm.
really struggling to let go of right now. And so I wanted to make that one just available to anyone who needed it because um, it's just one of those that will help amplify what you're saying, that powerful experience, and just really being able to break free of some of those patterns. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
We're going to change as we go through this, and the more we embrace it and go forward and look forward to letting go of old stuff,
Hmm.
the better it's going to go for us, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been programmed not to like change as a group,
Hmm.
be afraid of it. And instead, we need to start switching that to change is good. You know, I'm ready for change. I want to go forward, you know.
Yeah. It's safe to heal. It's safe to be me. I'm
Mhm.
free. All those things that we can tell ourselves to move into that higher space and stay in your highest timeline, your highest frequency as much as possible, given all of our everyday lives. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And just start changing the story about your everyday life too.
mhm,
You can do that as well. Like, I really enjoy this oatmeal or whatever it is that you happen
mhm,
to be, this thing that maybe you had to rush out of the house, your protein bar.
mhm.
You know, I really
Yes.
enjoy this protein bar. I'm so thankful that I have food on the go.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, if you're feeling kind of cranky about it, notice it and try and start changing the story a little bit about it.
Right. Right. It's like, even though I'm raising teenagers, I'm so grateful they're here with me. You
Right.
know? they're, they're in their own space of activation and all the things. So it's quite
They
interesting.
really are. Well, and they're not as in like awareness of their emotional stuff.
No.
So their
No.
emotional stuff's like really powerful because they're just like blasting it out.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Which is, I don't, I feel like we're one of the main groups, humanity is, that has been willing to delve into the emotional intensity. And we're starting to learn how to use it more wisely. So that's good too.
I would say that's true in a very healthy approach versus always coming from that wounded self. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, we're really shifting out of that. It's beautiful.
it is. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
beautiful because it's been used for a lot of stuff that's not great. And, manipulation,
Mhm.
just so many things.
Oh, yeah. Everything has been so twisted around.
Yep.
Like you said, just reclaiming everything for pure light, the healing, the rainbow, the frequencies, the just all the narratives that we've been shown. Um, yeah. And I joke around a little bit because I was a history major in college and with a teaching emphasis. I'm like, I kind of want my money back because none of
Right.
that was real, right? So let's
Yeah,
switch back into everything that is real, that is for our highest vibration, and it's going to be amazing.
it is. It's going to be amazing. And the disclosure is going to get more and more amazing. And we're going to have
Mhm.
access to more and more. But the
Yeah,
healing
I'm so.
thing is primary.
Mhm. The healing, yes, because it's that old saying, hurt people, right? So that's the very rudimentary explanation of
Hmm.
trauma being expressed. But the more that we can elevate, the more that others will want to come join that party and
Yeah.
all want to be healed too. They're like, oh, maybe this isn't so hard. Yeah, I can do that.
Hmm.
Um, Piece by piece, moment by moment, step by step. It doesn't have to be big.
No, it doesn't have to be big, and we have time. So even after things have been pushed and there's like
Hmm.
a switch as far as the way people are thinking because an event has
Hmm.
happened or whatever, we'll still have time to continue to
Hmm.
elevate ourselves.
Yep, I see that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Beautiful transition period.
It is. It's amazing. Just enjoy it. It is part of the journey. And it's like cleaning the house, even though we don't always love doing that. Think about
Right.
how much better you feel when it's done.
So much better.
Hmm.
If my teenagers would agree with me, that would be great too.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you there.
I know. I think it's funny where we're all at right now. So,
It is
yeah.
funny. Yeah. It's everybody's got their own perspective. And if I can't imagine being a teenager right now
Oh,
with
man.
all these energies, and then you have all your crazy hormones at the same time. Like that's
Yes.
a lot. So I'm not surprised
Yeah.
they're a little
No.
yeah.
And all the narratives, they're not sure which one to grab onto right now, and
Hmm.
what their identity is yet. Their brain's not fully formed. It's a whole process. So yeah, just be gentle with your entire family, and
Yeah. Yep.
just
Yep.
send as much love energy as you can to them.
We're
So
doing good. Yep. Just
we
love
are.
everybody and just kind of let go and do your own
Yeah.
process. They'll figure it
Hmm.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll follow um when it's time.
Hmm.
So
Well, this was fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
this was
was
a
fun.
lot of fun. So I'm going to put Amelia's links below, and she's got a lot to offer. So I'd definitely go check that out. And she's got a lot of classes on my website too. So go
I
have
love working
a
with
look.
pets. Yeah, I love working with pets too. I work with a lot of dogs too, and I'm starting to offer memberships, which is probably the most valuable for, for price, um but there's lots of different options that are available at different price points and everything. And basically whatever you need, we can work from that. So
Yep.
I just go with the flow and what I'm told to do. So
Yeah, we're very similar in the way that we have operated. So
Mhm.
I think
Yes.
it's really good. So, and Amelia and I have met in person. We both live in Colorado. So if you're in Colorado, definitely look her
Mhm.
up. Okay. Yes.
Yes, definitely. I would love to
Yeah.
meet more locals. That would be fun. I've
Yeah.
connected with a few through you, so.
Oh, good. Well, yeah. Yep. We have one
Mhm.
mutual for sure that we've,
Mhm.
yep.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
get to know your soul tribe, you guys. It's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all over the place and they're popping up in very unique ways. So,
They really are way more interesting than you would expect.
yes, it is. It's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thanks, Amelia. This has been
Thank you
great.
so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.